Welcome into Steelers Latest, your daily spot for all news and information related to your Pittsburgh Steelers. It's looking like we might have a problem on our hands as Steelers fans, as TJ Watt posted a cryptic photo today to his Instagram account. Uh, the photo was just him walking off the field throwing up the deuces. So, does this mean he's possibly looking for a way out of Pittsburgh? Let's hope not. What I really think this is a negotiation tactic to where he can kind of force the Steelers' hands to make an extension to his contract, which as a Steelers fan, I'd like to see. I know a couple people in the comments last week said signing TJ for 30 million years for 4 more years is probably not the best move. Think that's the worst move though. Like TJ is a generational talent. You only get these guys in the building every so often. He's there with Troy Polamalu, James Harrison, Joe Green, Defensive Player of the Year award winners for the Steelers. He's one of those guys you just can't let leave the locker room. He's a locker room motivator. He's been the heartbeat of this defense since he's been on the team. Every year he goes down and we don't have him. The team falls apart defensively. I just feel like you gotta lock down TJ Watt for long term. And long term for TJ, he's on the back half of his career, of course. I don't think he's going to fall off a cliff, but signing him just to 3 more years, the 3 more year extension puts him at 34 or 35. At the next time you have to negotiate, then maybe if he's still going, if he has fallen off a little bit, you get rid of him. I don't like saying that at all, but TJ, he's been 10 plus sacks a year his whole career besides his rookie season. I feel like you just can't let that go. He is the man in Pittsburgh right now. He's been the person giving us the most highlights every Sunday. Every season, he produces the most highlights out of anyone on the team, offensively or defensively, which is just when your defensive guy's doing that, you know you got someone special. So let's keep TJ in town. I only want to cry when TJ retires. I don't want to cry when he leaves the team. So let's make sure he's a Steeler for life. I don't know if everyone's on board with me there, but I'm sure most of Pittsburgh Nation is on board with keeping TJ around for the long term and for the rest of his career. But let's move on to the quarterback position for the rest of this show, as Shadur Sanders is seeming more and more likely he's going to fall to Pittsburgh. We have the fourth best betting odds to land Shadur Sanders right now. The main flaw they saw in him at the Colorado showcase was he patted the ball before releasing it. Every time he was gonna throw a pass, he would do one of these, to the ball. Just there's a ball in between. But that was the main flaw. Not a lot of all-time great quarterbacks do that, of course. That is kind of a signal teller to the defensive backs that you can jump this round. It could also kind of be beneficial. Maybe you pump with the pat and then you hit a little hook and go over the top. Maybe could work out in the pros. But I'm really liking the Shadur option at 21. If he's there, you have to take him. Once again, didn't have a great offensive line at Colorado. He still got the job done, was very productive there. Wasn't able to set his feet on some throws, still made it happen. I think you give him a NFL level offensive line, he's just going to elevate his game even more. If you don't land Shadur Sanders, though, don't take Dart. Don't take Dart if Sanders is there. Sanders is the only QB1 option I think in the first round I'd be willing to take. So let's make that happen, hopefully. It only makes too much sense. It's a storybook being written already about Sanders. Number 21 was his dad's number. Let's make it his draft pick number so they can kind of relate a little bit more to each other. But if we don't land Sanders, what's the option with Rodgers? Or if we do land Sanders, what's the option with Rodgers? I think if Sanders does come to town, you don't need Aaron Rodgers anymore. You can say it was fun negotiating, it was fun being patient, but we don't need you. Get out of town. Now I did stay up all night watching Pat McAfee Big Night Out. hoping Rodgers might show up. McAfee kind of cleared up a couple hours beforehand that we weren't going to see Aaron Rodgers there. He wasn't in town, but I don't know. He's a WWE guy, so I had to stay up watching the show all night just to see if Rodgers doesn't make a surprise guest appearance and make that decision there. He did not, so we still have no news on Rodgers. I think if we don't land Sanders, it's the smartest option to sign him and draft someone like Will Howard in the later rounds. And I'll talk about Will Howard. He really improved in my mind after watching the John Gruden quarterback showcase with him. But Rodgers, I'm tired of waiting. We need more pressure being put on you. You're just making the whole fan base turn on you before you're even here. So I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you keep doing it. It doesn't seem like any other team's really that interested in you. Minnesota's made their decision. It seems like they're going with JJ McCarthy. So at this point, I feel like Rodgers needs the Steelers more than the Steelers need Rodgers. Like he's not going to boost the team that much. I feel like he might win us a playoff game, his best presence is probably being that veteran quarterback or a later round quarterback pick we might take. But once again, the Steelers don't need Rodgers. Rodgers is looking to end his career on a good note. He's looking to have a strong season to possibly end the last chapter of his career. So he needs a team like Pittsburgh that has the weapons, that has the capability of going to the playoffs. He needs us way more than we need him. So Rogers, just put pen to paper. We stop stop making everyone wait. Stop making everyone have this anticipation, waiting by their phones to wait for the ESPN notification that you've signed with Pittsburgh. We know it's most likely going to happen. Just make it happen and be that veteran quarterback for the next guy up, of course. And if it's not Sanders, once again, if we draft Sanders, don't need Rodgers. We're rolling with Sanders. Sign someone like Joe Flacco. But if we don't get Sanders, this is the guy I'd be really interested in. He hopped above Jalen Milroe in the later rounds for me now. That Will Howard, he was very impressive on John Gruden's quarterback showcase show once again. I think he just looked very smart. He showcased his leadership abilities on that show. He could pick up on things very quickly, it seemed, on that Gruden show. It was very interesting to watch, honestly. I'd recommend everyone go out there and watch that. It boosted my stock in Will Howard a lot. Like I wasn't that big of a fan. I did recommend him earlier in earlier videos, but I always said Milroe probably was the better option. I do think Howard behind Rodgers is the second best case scenario behind not behind drafting Sanders at 21, but that is all up in the air. No one knows if Sanders is going to be there. But Will Howard, I really do like just the intangibles about him. He's coming into the NFL at the same size and weight of Josh Allen. He has a lot of comparisons to Big Ben Roethlisberger, our man, the myth, the legend, Big Ben. But he has a lot of comparisons to him. He also showed the capability to compete in college at Kansas State when they had a transfer quarterback came in. He had to compete for his job. More than likely, he'd be doing that in Pittsburgh no matter what. If Rodgers signs or not, he'd be competing with Mason Rudolph if he doesn't sign. So I think that's a very enticing pick. He also coached his high school team when he got hurt. He's just a locker room motivator. He's a culture building guy. I really am high on Will Howard after watching that episode of QB Showcase with John Gruden. So I'd love to see. These are my two options going into draft day. The two best outcomes during draft day are number one, of course, Sanders slides to 21 and the Steelers draft him. We got our guy of the future. Number two, best option, we get Will Howard in a later round. We sign Aaron Rodgers a couple days after the draft. And then I think Aaron Rodgers would be a great veteran presence for someone like Will Howard to learn under. I think that would be a great transition, an easy transition from Rodgers to Howard in the next season after the upcoming season. So, those are my two major options. Let me know in the comment section what you believe. Remember to like and subscribe. This has been Steelers Latest. I've been your host, Cole Denis, and I will see you tomorrow.